We don't usually like to jump on bandwagons, but we're going to today. So Chat GPT is one of the hottest topics around education at the moment because of the idea that it threatens to replace students being able to write things and think for themselves and trick lecturers and teachers into reading essays that have been produced by this artificial intelligence system that seems to be able to pass medical board exams far better than a lot of students. Now, that's one side of it, but we put it to the test, and we put it to the test with a couple of things. We got it to write a love letter. So here it is where we're asking it to write a love letter. The other thing we asked it to do was to write a risk assessment, and here it is for a ski program. Now, I've had a lot of experience with ski programs, and there's a couple of risks in there that you go, yep, that's fair enough, fairly common, but the first thing it starts with is slips, trips and falls. Now, it is getting confused with some workplace health and safety stuff, but you're slipping on the snow, tripping on the snow. I never actually tripped on the snow unless I was actually in my boots on ice, and I did that in a car park in Colorado once, and it really hurt. So it could be something that is kind of relevant, but the reality is that we cannot use this to replace people's decision making. Because one of the most important things about risk management for any of our school programs is emotional intelligence. Not artificial intelligence, but emotional intelligence. Having our staff understanding the situations and being adaptable and flexible and dynamic in their way of thinking, their culture of risk management and their decision making as a result. So whilst it was fun to play around with Chat GPT, it's really quite limited in terms of the application for real risk management in the real world. And so long as we don't have a culture of just doing paperwork, because it can do that tick box paperwork. Sure, it produces a document, tick that box. But sadly, there is no correlation between that document and the field practices. And that's one of the big downsides, and that's one of the big risks of using a system like this to try and actively manage risk for all of your school excursions and activities. But it is fun to play with, so we're going to go back and play with it a little bit more.